Board Member Bipperman, if you are on the public call, you need to hang up out of that meeting and look at your email and join the other call information I sent you. If you have your hand raised. Going to give it one more minute. Give me just a moment. All right. Welcome to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy Rulemaking hearing. I'm Rachel Melvin, Operations Manager and the Hearings Officer. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, and it is 9:32 a.m. The rulemaking hearing is now in session and being recorded and retained for public record keeping purposes. Participants, please mute your microphone and silence your additional devices. When it's your turn to provide testimony, we will call your name and you will have 4 minutes to provide your comments. Copies of the proposed rules are located on our website at oregon.gov/pharmacy on the rulemaking information page. Per the December 22nd, 2023 notice of proposed rulemaking, the hearing meeting is being held virtually via Teams. Individuals who wish to present oral testimony during the hearing had the option of signing up using the form on our website, or they had the option to email their contact information to pharmacy.rulemaking@bop.oregon.gov. All written comments must be received by 4:30 p.m. today. Please submit your written comments to pharmacy.rulemaking@bop.oregon.gov. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment on proposed rules. The board will not deliberate or engage in discussion on the proposed rules. After the end of the public comment period, a rulemaking hearing report will be provided to the board for their consideration at the February 7th through 9th, 2024 board meeting. We'll now take roll call for board and staff. So for the record, when I call your name, please verbally acknowledge here. Board Member Hemmings?
Here.
Board Member Vipperman? Board Member Vipperman?
Here.
Thank you. Pharmacist Consultant Jennifer Davis?
Here.
And Rachel Melvin, I'm here. This will be a very short hearing. We have one person who signed up to provide testimony today, so bear with me as I read the Oregon administrative rules. We'll begin with proposed rules related to repealing Division 001, which is procedure rules. This proposes to repeal OAR 855-001, 0000, OAR 855-001, 0005, OAR 855-001, 0012, OAR 855-001, 0016, OAR 855-001, 0017, OAR 855-001-0035, and OAR 855-001, 0040. Nobody signed up to provide comment on this particular set of rules. Just move on to the next set of proposed rules, which proposes to amend definition and repeals additional definitions. Proposes to amend OAR 855-006-0005 and proposes to repeal OAR 855-006-0015. No one signed up to write comments on these rules today. Next are proposed rules related to repealing Division 010, which is Board Administration and Policies. Proposed to repeal OAR 855-010, 0005, OAR 855-010-0015, OAR 855-010-0016, OAR 855-010-0018, OAR 855-010-0021, OAR 855-010-0035, OAR 855-010-0100, OAR 855-010-0110, OAR 855-010-0120, and OAR 855-010-0130. Again, nobody signed up to provide comment on this particular set of rules. Next, proposes to repeal rules in Division 019 for pharmacists. Proposes to repeal OAR 855-019-0100, OAR 855-019-0110, OAR 855-019-0120, OAR 855-019-0122, OAR 855-019-0123, OAR 855-019-0124, OAR 855-019-0125, OAR 855-019-0130, OAR 855-019-0140, OAR 855-019-0150, OAR 855-019-0160, OAR 855-019-0170, OAR 855-019-0171, OAR 855-019-0200, OAR 855-019-0205, OAR 855 019-0210, OAR 855-019-0220, OAR 855-019-0230, OAR 855-019-0240, OAR 855-019-0250, OAR 855-019-0260, OAR 855-019-0265, OAR 855-019-0300, OAR 855-019-0310, and OAR 855-019-0460. Nobody signed up to provide comment on those set of rules. Next are proposed rules related to repealing rules in Division 020, which is Pharmacist's Prescriptive Authority. This proposes to repeal OAR 855-020-0110, OAR 855-020-0120, and OAR 855-020-0200. And nobody signed up to provide comment on those proposed rules. Next, rules related to repealing items in Division 025, which is Certified Oregon Pharmacy Technicians and Pharmacy Technicians. Proposes to repeal OAR 855-025-0001, OAR 855-025-0005, OAR 855-025-0010, OAR 855-025-0011, OAR 855-025-0012, OAR 855-025-0015, OAR 855-025-0020, OAR 855-025-0023, OAR 855-025-0025, OAR 855-025-0030, OAR 855-025-0035, OAR 855-025-0040, and OAR 855-025-0050. Nobody signed up to provide comments on these rules. Next are proposed rules to repeal items in Division 31, interns. Proposed to repeal OAR 855-031-0005, OAR 855-031-0010, OAR 855-031-0016, OAR 855-031-0020, OAR 855-031-0026, OAR 855-031-0030, OAR 855-031-0045, OAR 855 031-0050, and OAR 855-031-0055. Nobody signed up to provide comments on these rules. Next are proposed rules related to consulting drugless pharmacy, rule amendments and rule repeals rather, sorry. Proposed to amend OAR 855-041-3000 and OAR 855-110-0007. Proposed to repeal OAR 855-041-3300, OAR 855-041-3305, OAR 855-041-3310, OAR 855-041-3315, OAR 855-041-3320, OAR 855-041-3325, OAR 855-041-3330, OAR 855-041-3335, and OAR 855-041-3340. And nobody provided comments or signed up to provide comments on these rules. Next are rules related to institutional drug outlet labeling requirements for short-acting opioid antagonists. Proposed to amend OAR 855-041-6270 and OAR 041-6410. Nobody signed up to provide comments on those rules. Next are rules related to applicability of pharmacy practice regulations and licensing requirements for pharmacists. This proposes to adopt OAR 855-115-0001. Nobody signed up to provide comments on those rules, or that rule. Next are proposed rules related to pharmacists, collaborative drug therapy management, or CDTM. This proposes to adopt OAR 855-115-0315. And nobody signed up to provide comment on that rule. Next are proposed rules which amend pharmacist prohibited practices. Proposed to amend OAR 855-115-0150. And we will call on Brian Mayo from OSPA to provide oral testimony. Brian?
Hi there. Thanks for this opportunity to join you guys and provide this testimony. I also want to thank the board members for voting in favor of starting the repeal process for this rule at the December meeting. Director Fox had sent me a copy of a letter that outlines the next steps with what to expect moving forward and how things are going to proceed. So I appreciate that update and information about where we are with the process. At the December meeting, there were some comments made by board members that weren't necessarily in regards to this rule, but more just in general about how there is so much information that is provided to them, and that from one meeting to the next that they can't really remember the details of the public comments. So with my written comments that I just submitted a little bit ago, it's one PDF that includes our a brief letter from OSPA, and then it also has our information from the attorney who was helping us with this repeal request. And they also took all the public comments from the last board meeting in December that had to do with this topic. So everything should be collected into one document and hopefully easier for the board members to review as they're moving forward. So with that, thank you for working through this process, and I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Brian. Right, we're on our last set. So last are proposed rules related to preceptor license renewal or reinstatement. This proposes to adopt OAR 855-120-1035. And nobody signed up to provide comments on this particular rule. With that in mind, thank you for attending our rulemaking hearing. A friendly reminder that written comments need to be received by 4:30 p.m. today, and you can email your written comments to pharmacy.rulemaking@bop.oregon.gov. It is now 9:46 a.m. and the hearing is now adjourned. Thanks, everyone.